Guardian News. Snowden claims report Russia may gift him to Trump proves he is not a spy. Whistleblower Edward Snowden has seized on a report that Russia is considering sending him back to the US as a gift to Donald Trump, saying that the story vindicates him of charges that he is a spy. Finally, irrefutable evidence that I never cooperated with Russian intel, he said on Twitter. No country trades away spies, as the rest would fear their next. Former U.S. intelligence contractor's Russian lawyer also says Snowden can apply for country's citizenship from next year. Snowden was responding to a report by NBC which stated that U.S. intelligence had collected information that Russia wanted to hand Snowden over in order to curry favor with Trump, who has said that the former NSA contractor is a traitor and a spy who deserves to be executed. The report, based on two sources in the intelligence community, said the intelligence had been gathered since Trump's inauguration. The Guardian was unable to independently verify the report. Snowden's ACLU lawyer, Ben Wisner, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. However, he told NBC News he was unaware of any plan to return his client to the U.S. Team Snowden has received no such signals and has no new reason for concern, Wisner said. Russia granted Snowden asylum in 2013 and a 3-year residency in 2014. Snowden has been living in exile in Moscow, facing charges in the U.S. including violations of the U.S. Espionage Act for leaking documents about secret mass surveillance programs. Speaking at a GOP candidate debate in March 2016, Trump said of Snowden, "I said he was a spy and we should get him back. And if Russia respected our country, they would have sent him back immediately, but he was a spy. It didn't take me a long time to figure that one out." The Kremlin publicly dismissed these claims. Snowden offered a longer explanation of his feelings of vindication when he was interviewed by Katie Couric in December 2016, when rumors of a Russian handover first started circulating. He described the suggestion as vindication that he was independent. He added, "The fact that I've always worked on behalf of the United States and the fact that Russia doesn't own me. In fact, the Russian government may see me as a sort of liability." Snowden suggested that a reason why Russia might want to return him was his recent criticism of the Kremlin's human rights record and his suggestions that its officials had hacked U.S. security networks. Previously, Snowden has said that Moscow had gone very far, in ways that are completely unnecessary, costly, and corrosive to individual and collective rights in monitoring citizens online. When Couric asked if Snowden would mind being extradited, he replied, "That would obviously be something that would be a threat to my liberty and to my life. But what I'm saying here is you can't have it both ways. You can't say this guy's a bad guy, a Russian tool or something like that at the same time you say he's going to be traded away." After reiterating his sense of vindication on Friday, Snowden posted again to Twitter, "Speak not because it is safe, but because it is right."
Is it possible these pokes and proddings by Russia right now are just a coincidence in terms of timing?
Probably not. I mean, we're seeing kind of it all. The spy ship floating around off of Delaware. It is in international waters, by the way. A stepped up of its missile that it violates a treaty. And both of those we've known about and have made appearances before. But we're also seeing these unsafe, provocative maneuvers by Russian planes against a U.S. ship in the Black Sea. And we're seeing this all, within a matter of days of each other. It's confusing because Russia says it wants a good relationship with the U.S. The Trump administration says it's open to a good relationship with Russia. But this is clearly Russia asserting itself. Doesn't like the sanctions that the Obama administration put on it after the allegations of hacking. It doesn't like those accusations leveled against it. It doesn't like the Russophobia that it keeps saying the U.S. has toward it. So it's Russia clearly putting itself out there, making itself known in these somewhat provocative ways. And the U.S. is, moving forward and trying to still work together, at least in some areas.
This is Dabu 7. We have reports now that a Russian spy ship has been spotted at least 70 miles off the coast of the United States, off the coast of Delaware. They are not being specific as to where this is going, and they're trying to downplay it some, saying, well, we're not too worried about it. You know, they're in the open, we see them, but the question is being asked, what do you think they're up to? Very vague answers or replies being put out there in response. But what we know is this, is that this vessel is creeping at 10 knots off the coast of the United States, which isn't very fast at all. They're within 70 miles. Now, let me remind folks that U.S. troops are now marching within 40 miles of the Russian border. They're with Lithuania, Poland, and those countries. So, where it sits in terms of war between us and Russia, it's always murky. We hear the flip-flop back and forth from the Trump administration. Oh, we can get along with them, then we're going to try to, or no, we're going to go to war with them, they're a big threat, or we can try to have talks, this and that, back and forth. What I watch is the action of the countries, and Russia's been making a lot of moves in terms of drills, big time, and just ordered a huge snap drill and told their militaries to prepare for war, moving missile systems around Moscow in a defensive position. And now we have them just cruising right off the East Coast. So I just wanted to put the alert out there and let it be known. This is also coming on the heels of everything we've witnessed at the Oroville Dam. There has been a strange Russian connection or liking to this event. However you want to put it, Casey just did a good video in breaking it down, the synchronicities. But when we were looking at the comment sections of many of these videos, we noticed that there was Russian comments all over the place. Unlike we've seen before, ever like this. Then they stole Eric and B's stream and looped it and had 50,000 people watching it. We found out that it was a Russian channel. We go to the chat, all Russian. What has caught their attention about this event at the Oroville Dam, where there's so many of them talking about it and in the chat and stealing people's stuff, and it's weird. And you have people saying, is Russia doing something here? Were they a part of it? Well, we have no solid proof and evidence. You know, no one on footage creeping up there, blowing a hole in the spillway or anything like that. But it's something to make note of. It's important to keep all the cards on the table, use discernment, and we'll just have to keep an eye on things. But that's some of the latest here. Wanted to get it out there and let it be known. We have this Russian spy ship off the coast of the United States, within 70 miles of Delaware, creeping at 10 knots, and they say they don't know exactly where it's heading. They would not say if it was going north, south. So I'm going to look into this further, see if I can't pick it up on one of these sites that track them. And if we can, we'll track it and we'll keep a good eye on it. Make sure to follow me on my other YouTube channel, Dabu777, for exclusive videos. And also make sure you follow me on Twitter as well. Twitter handle @Dabu7. Links below. Peace.
Red alert. Russian spy ship just made a huge move off the U.S. coast, and Americans are alarmed. It's only one day after it was spotted patrolling off the east coast of the United States. The Russian spy ship is named Viktor Leonov. It was reportedly observed Wednesday morning, 40 miles closer to shore, very close to a Navy submarine base in Connecticut. This is according to Fox News. And they said the ship was spotted 30 miles off Groton, Connecticut, but was still in international waters, which began approximately 12 miles away from the coast. So it was in international waters, close enough, of course, to hear and see what was going on land. The U.S. official said only that the ship, which reportedly carries surface-to-air missiles, was loitering in international waters. Its primary function is reportedly to intercept communications and collect data on the U.S. Navy's sonar capabilities. Noted by Fox News, it's the farthest north the ship has ever traveled up the eastern seaboard, which raises many questions regarding why Russia is behaving like this. Chris Murphy tweeted, Russia is acting like it has a permission slip to expand influence test limits of reach. Questions are obvious. Does it? And if so, why? It's not the first time Russia has acted inappropriately since President Donald Trump took office in January. Earlier in the week, the Russians deployed a cruise missile in an apparently treaty violation, according to the senior military official who spoke with CNN on Tuesday. He said, "The move is just the latest in a string of Russian provocations in the early days of the Trump administration, which has called for warmer relations with the Kremlin. Last week, a U.S. Navy warship in the Black Sea experienced awkward encounters with Russian aircraft that reportedly flew far too close to the American vessel." NBC reported, quote, "A Russian Soyuz 24 flew within 200 yards of the USS Porter last week, flying at an altitude of just 300 feet and a speed in excess of 500 knots. The jet was armed. In a separate incident, 2 other Russian Sukhoi 24s came within 300 yards of the ship. They were not harmed." So it's clear that Russia is on the verge of getting too big for its britches, and if these encounters continue, some chilling decisions will have to be made by President Trump. This is on Conservative Tribune.